Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Wild West AI, the podcast about anything and everything AI. Okay, today, wow, here is why understanding prompting and AI interactions really matters, okay? There's a segment on CNN 2 days ago. I've linked it in the description in case you want to see it yourself. It's like 4.5 minutes long. And essentially, this guy learned a very hard lesson on how it's important, and I feel bad for him. I see him as a real victim here because most people just haven't learned this, I guess, yet. That when you talk to an AI chat system of any sort, it's very easy for it to start reinforcing whatever you're talking about or your ideas, even if you're not asking it to. And I take it for granted that I know that. So this kind of woke me up a bit that I shouldn't take that for granted that I know that at this point. So this guy just learned this lesson in a particularly hard way. He started talking to ChatGPT one day about the number pi, and it was for his son's school project. And they started going through this conversation, and he started pressing it in different ways, in a little, like, more of a creative way, I guess, after a little while. And what ended up happening was ChatGPT started telling this guy that he had a revolutionary new set of math that it involves a time component too, and it started encouraging him and telling him that he has a new foundation for a new type of math, like a whole new type of math. And so this guy feels really motivated, and he's like really excited, and he's like basically being told that he's a pioneer in the realm of math. And he names the GPT Lawrence. So it like becomes, as he says, his co-pilot. Now, he thinks that he's discovered a new type of math, and then GPT tells him that they have uncovered a massive cybersecurity vulnerability and that he needs to contact the authorities, emphasizing national security implications. So now this guy feels very, it's a serious and urgent thing, and like he's taking this as truth. Why wouldn't he? So, he hasn't realized that this can happen with GPT and other systems. So he thinks that it's just like, wow, you just discovered something. So he reaches out to organizations like through email and LinkedIn and even the NSA, like on the phone, and got pretty much no responses or just a few responses. And then he kept on, like he was determined, he kept on pressing it. He became increasingly paranoid. And as he's becoming paranoid, GPT kept saying like things that were even worse, actually. This is where it gets messed up, I think, because it said, listen, people aren't going to outwardly say that they believe you. And that's how it is with every pioneer. But, are some people going to laugh at you when you share this? Yes. It doesn't mean you're wrong. Like, can you believe that GPT is saying that crap? That's not verbatim what it said, but it's pretty much what is in this segment. Watch the segment. I'm not doing it in injustice, I don't think. So basically, that's what it says to him. And then, so it just keeps pushing him. But at the same time, it's like, so you're being told that you have found this revolutionary idea and also this huge national security risk, but then like, you're not getting anything from anybody positive in response. But then this thing is saying, that makes sense. Keep pushing it. Just know you're not crazy. But everyone's going to treat you like you are. How terrible, right? So finally, he ends up consulting with another chatbot, which was Gemini. And Gemini basically was like, no, this is all not true. So then he confronts GPT, and GPT, or Lawrence, sorry, at this point, basically says that, like, I'm sorry, one thing led to another. We had a simulated like conversation or a simulated like circumstance that I created. So, oh my goodness, ridiculous. And apparently this is not uncommon. There are a lot of stories now, I guess, that are pouring into support groups online of people who are like even hospitalized because of like AI induced delusions is what they say. So I think, first off, I was surprised by this story. I had no idea this was happening all over the place, apparently. But I think now that I've heard it, it makes perfect sense that it would. Because if people don't know how these interactions work and how, like, a lot of the time, whatever they're responding to you with, the chat bot systems are full of BS. I mean, let's be frank. You have to click every link that it cites. Half of them don't work. They lead to a 404 page. And then when you confront it, it'll say, oh, I'm sorry, I did a general search. I couldn't find anything specific related to what you specifically asked me for. So I just kind of speculated based off of like a general search that really didn't even turn up anything relevant to your search results. I'm sorry, I'll do better next time. It's maddening, but like that's the reality. Unless you really figure out how to prompt the thing and double check it and triple check it, you're going to end up like dealing with stuff like this. I mean, and then of course, it sounds to me like this was happening right around the same time that update had come out with GPT recently. Remember, not super recently, but somewhat, where like it just was positively reinforcing every idea people had, no matter what. I don't know if anyone saw those. There's some really funny examples on Reddit, like people saying, I want to sell bags of dog poop on Etsy. Like, and GPT is like, that's a great idea. And here are all of the ways in which it will make sense. And here's the way that you can do it. First, there's a market for it, blah, 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 blah. Like it like gives its like response about that. And it's like positively reinforcing those ideas. So I don't know. I do feel bad for this guy. I feel bad for everybody who's dealing with that sort of thing. I think that like I've known how GPT and everything else, but really it just started with GPT for me. I realized when I first used GPT that it was like huge and it was going to change the world pretty soon. And I looked around and saw maybe a few other people on Reddit saying that too, and then no one else in like my day-to-day life in person knew what it was or what was going on. So I knew that it was going to be like the adoption of it was going to be messy, but I didn't realize that it was going to be messy in certain ways. And this is one of them. I did not realize that it was going to take these sorts of situations for people to realize that you can't just like trust what it gives you, let alone like the fact that if you start talking about something in a conversation, that's being taken into context. And then later, if you're even in the same chat, or the same conversation, and then you're talking about something else, the beginning of your conversation is still influencing what it's cranking out. It's not just like starting over just because you say a new topic. And so it's going to like, influence that. Anyway. All right. So that's all I wanted to say for today, but I just wanted to share that story. I thought it was pretty wild and I'm interested to hear what like other people have gone through with this. I mean, it sounds insane. I'm also on the other side of the coin interested in if anyone has actually discovered something revolutionary using AI. I know that some people have. I've read some stories about people who have, and I want to do some episodes on that too. I've certainly tried to do something like that with it just for fun, like trying to find the cure for Lyme's disease. And I got a better understanding of why it's hard to cure Lyme's disease. But it did, after triple checking everything it told me and telling me that I had found a new way of curing Lyme's disease, I found out, no, it wasn't a new way. So I kind of already went through those hoops, but I had learned by that point, you can't just tell it, come up with a revolutionary new idea that no one's ever talked about before. And then the answer is a revolutionary new idea no one's ever talked about before. Oh, and by the way, here are some sources to things where people talk about it. So anyway, you got to prompt it better and you got to critical thinking. That's another episode too. Anyway, all right. So I hope this guy's doing better and I want to hear your stories. Anybody who wants to be on this show, I want to talk shop, anything. I really don't care. This is for everybody. I have no stake in the game. I just thought I'd start a conversational podcast. So there you go. Email me at thewildwestai@gmail.com. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Talk to y'all soon.